Ugh, why does it smell like baby crap in here? I don't even have a baby. Today on Dead Dodge Garage, Chevrolet? Kind of feel like we lost the plot somewhere. Allow me to tell you everything I know about Vortec Chevrolets. Once every year or two, they do this. This is a problem I'm so familiar with, I've actually already fixed it at least twice on this exact truck. For the Vortec series of engines, Chevrolet went to electronic timing control. They redesigned the distributor. It has a simple pickup and this flat style cap, which we like to call the crab cap. These distributors are a problem. You might call them a major design flaw, in fact, because they tend to kill these trucks for what seems like no reason. You can see here on the cap, these trails go very near to each other. And one common failure is, you'll be trying to start the truck one day and it kicks back against you like the timing set totally wrong because the spark is jumping around in there where it's not supposed to be. If it cranks and cranks like this truck but makes no effort to fire, kick back, break the starter, or do anything like that, the most likely culprit is the distributor, although there are other possibilities. In either case, you'll have to get into this distributor. It's important to note the position of the plug wires. They are not in numerical order. If you're lucky, they'll be locked in these handy clips over here still, in the correct order, and you can just pop them off. Nice and easy. Important note number one for distributor replacement on a Vortec. If you've got a V8, you need the rotor to line up with this little 8 mark down here. Have an assistant bump the engine over, crank it over by hand, whatever you want to do. Get that rotor pointed down there, yard it out of there. If you've got a V6, it points over there. Kind of silly, but anyway, there you go. Yeah, that's the Lone Wolf 150 starter model. Vortec distributor tip number 2. We can now assume that the engine is at TDC because we've lined up the rotor mark with number 1. Now this actually applies to any Chevy engine of this type. V8, V6, whatever. You'll notice as I extract the distributor, the rotor is going to turn counterclockwise. See that? Hey, there's also a piece of it. Hang on a second. Don't worry about that. Anyway, when you extract it, the rotor turns counterclockwise. When you're installing the new one, you need it pointed roughly the same direction. I think this one actually moved a little too far, but that's fine. I've actually seen an excellent guide video for lining these up on the internets. With the rotor removed, there's a hole down there you can eyeball that'll get you just about right. I installed this distributor about 3.5 years ago, but I installed this cap and that broken rotor only about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And they're already in this condition? What a great design. Now, this is a relatively simple device, and all it has in here is this little pickup module. So I could fix it, probably pretty easily. But it's got a lifetime warranty, and since I'm the one that bought it and got that warranty, I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So again, we could dig into this thing, change the pickup, everything would probably be fine. However, as you can see, if the cap isn't bad now, it's gonna be bad soon. And you can go grab a whole distributor for just over $100. It's quicker, it's easier, and especially in the shop environment, it makes the most sense. It's got a warranty, and we can get it replaced when it dies again. Not if, when. Now, here's a tip for you married guys. If you can't really drive your tow rig because it's stuck like this, wrap your parts up like a bouquet before setting them in your wife's car. Just set them ever so gingerly on the rubber floor mat. Boat stuff. All right, you two, just kiss already. Another beautiful day at the Port of Grays Harbor. Why do trains always sound broken? Well, that was cool. Now I'm cold and hungry. What was I doing? Oh yeah.
Hi.
How's your day going?
Awful.
Hiya! The new one is shiny for some reason. It says, warranty void if removed. So next time I'll just take them the whole thing. Also strangely, it's missing the numbers, but you can see where the rotor is supposed to point. So I'm gonna aim at something like that and see if I can't drop it in. Okay, couple notes here. Usually, when you're trying to drop these things back in where they were, the oil pump drive shaft no longer lines up, and the distributor will only want to drop halfway back down into the block. There are a few tricks to get this to line back up. One is stab a big long flathead screwdriver down in there and spin the shaft. Try again. Another is to bump the engine over. However, if you do that, you're going to have to bring it all the way back around 2 crank rotations to TDC 1 and verify that you've got it installed correctly. Another trick I use sometimes when I don't have a screwdriver and I don't have the patience for the other technique is to lift this up and stab it down wherever it will go all the way, bit by bit by bit by bit, one direction or the other, and work it around until the distributor will fully drop into place. Strangely, on this one, it went right in one go. That advice applies to any small block Chevrolet distributor installation. Same on the 4.3. However, there is one other particularity of the Vortec design you should be paying attention to. This distributor does not actually set the timing. The timing is set electronically. What it does set is the rotor phasing, or, as you can find it in a scanner on one of these, the CMP retard or cam position offset. From the factory, these distributors are not supposed to be adjustable. The aftermarket ones sometimes are locked in place and sometimes give you a little adjustment like this one. The one I took out looked something like that. Maybe. Actually even further than that. So as you can see, there are some production tolerance differences. I have every bit of faith that this one will run as it is, but the offset is probably going to be wrong. And in that case, what I may have to do is change or modify the distributor hold down to get more advanced. If you get this close enough, your truck will run. But the main thing I've noticed when they're set a little bit off is a strange kind of vibration, funky running thing on the highway. To get the offset or cam retard set correctly, you really need a scanner. I believe the spec is plus or minus 2 degrees, but the closest to 0, the better. You ever pay pandemic prices for nitrile mechanics gloves just to forget to use them? Or is that just me? Smells in here. Roundup time. Let's see if I'm a brilliant diagnostician or a parts replacer. Yeah. Forgot about the lone wolf. Oh, it's blowing smoke rings. Oh, definitely don't worry about that knocking noise you heard. That's fine. Well, as expected, that works. It runs. Now, if your Vortec Chevy is dead, should you just go ahead and take my advice and replace the distributor? No, probably not. You should probably go through all the correct diagnostic steps that the factory would want you to do, and then go ahead and replace the distributor. This thing actually sounds kind of nice. Now all I gotta do is fish the air cleaner hold down plastic nut thingy out of there somehow. Oh, and then drive it off the trailer. To the casual observer, it might look like I spend every day working on totally random things and I get distracted very easily. Hey, that's my tape measure. Get it? Starter model. It's like a pun, but on accident.